Let all catch old enough to catch your own prey. Gather here beneath the tile rock. A clan meeting.
Miouooo, I'm Simon.
And I'm Evelyn.
And I'm Estrella.
And today we're going to be discussing Tallstar's Revenge, Chapter 17, 18, and 19.
Please bear in mind that our spoiler policy is spoilers are fun. Well, we're back from our unannounced hiatus, so that's fun.
Returned.
Yeah.
I
know we didn't lose any fans in the meantime.
I hope we still have our fan, yeah. Speaking of fan, dumb news. There's kind of a lot that happened. And I definitely don't know all of it, but there's probably like a couple new books announced at least.
Yeah, there's some. Did anybody play Medicine Mission? Because I did, and I hated it.
I did, but I failed so bad.
I have not played Medicine Mission yet.
I had to stop playing because it stressed me out.
It was impossible.
It was not fun.
I couldn't figure out how to cure the bellyache.
That one I figured out immediately, and then I couldn't figure out anything else.
Oh no.
Like, oh, so it just takes whatever you do first? No, I just somehow luckily got that one first.
And the time pressure was terrible.
It's so fast. It just immediately throws you into the deep end. And it's also, the way that you progress is so quick. It's like, you're an apprentice. Oh, you're about to become a medicine cat. Oh, you're the medicine cat now. It's just like...
Really? You got that far? I did not.
It doesn't take long. It does not take long. And then there's so many herbs that you have to like scroll sideways.
I know!
Not
it
only
was so hard.
Is it so fast, it gets faster, and you have to scroll to find the herbs that you need. And you're still just supposed to guess.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was really bad.
It's the kind of thing you need practice at.
Simon, I highly recommend it.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's the Warriors website having a poor user interface.
It worked pretty fast, I will say that. Like, I feel like their stuff usually takes like forever to load, and that part's a nightmare. It just like opened right away, and I could play it no problem.
Yeah, I was surprised it loaded that fast, especially considering it's a game. Like, usually just a regular page with text and images will take 20 seconds to load.
I mean, another thing about it is, like, it's an app. Like, it's formatted, it only takes up, like, a thin screen on your computer. But it's just on your computer. So I was confused about that. I felt like it would have been much better and easier. Like, so quickly you have to start side-scrolling on the stuff.
Yeah, there's so many herbs. There's too many herbs.
Take up a computer screen. It's, like, made for a phone screen, but it's just on the internet.
I'm very pleased to see that there's more games back on the Warriors website, and I'm very eager to play.
Oh, yeah.
So, what else do we have here?
We have that horrible video that you said.
Oh, I love that video.
I came across this in one of the subreddits. It's actually a video, it is an animation of Tallstar's death.
But in the style of Family Guy.
Yeah, it's like clearly from a Family Guy episode. And it's like, you know, in the living room, there's the couch. There's Peter is Tallstar. There's like also a 9 lives counter in the bottom. And then there's 2 cats on the couch who definitely look like dogs.
I mean, one of them's got to be Brian.
But yeah, like who's the other? Are they both Brian but changed?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Is that Scourge?
Yeah, it's Scourge, and then I guess that's Firestar. Handsome Ginger Tom.
I love the audio.
I did not... Oh my god.
You have to watch it.
I watched it. I did not turn the audio on.
Oh, that was great.
I love everything about it.
And then they announced a new book 5 already in A Starless Clan. It's called Wind.
No, it's called Wind.
So,
Why? Why? That would be so funny.
I didn't even know that Shadow was the 4th book announced. I like totally missed that, I think. Or maybe I just forgot.
I think these are all.
No. Thunder was the 4th book announced, and Shadow already is out there.
I cannot wait.
Shadow, Thunder, Wind. What are they going to call the last one? Oh,
Star.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Star. I've been saying that since the beginning.
Yeah, Starless Plan, and then Star Plan will be the last. Gotcha.
And then, yeah, is it gonna be the last arc?
Mhm.
It feels like it should be.
That would be like great names for the books in the last arc.
Yeah, like tie it back to the beginning, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The corporate machine might keep chugging along.
Yeah, I mean, they're still announcing special editions. The River Star's home cover is really why the ears like that?
No, I don't even know where that is. River Star's home?
That's the new special edition that was announced.
Well, that might be the special edition. Before our hiatus, I had made a note for this episode, like there's a new super edition announced, and then I didn't realize what it was.
Oh, it's River Star's home, and the ears are back. But the cat is kind of just vibing.
Oh, the ears are so back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why are they that back?
I was very upset.
That's way too back. It's not. It's not cute. Like I wish the cats had their ears up, because it looks a lot cuter.
Mm. Who even is River Star? Like, I don't care about this cat.
I don't know, it says that in the interesting facts, it was a poll between River Star, Ivy Pool, and Misty Star.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, the poll originated controversy as it was quickly bottled in the favor of River Star. And over 200,000 inauthentic votes were
Yeah.
Oh. That's funny. Why would someone care that much?
The title was revealed in a video on Kate's Facebook where she advertises the new Warriors Instagram account. Something about that is very funny to me. How did they just recently join Instagram?
I mean, I've been following an Instagram for a while. I don't know.
Well, not a
Maybe it's just a new, different one. Well, what do we think of the cover of Wind?
Their ears are back, except for that other little cat there that's pretty cute. But 2 out of 3 ears are back. Well, 4 out of 6 ears are back.
Yeah, I mean, they're still like too far on the like fierce side rather than like the cute cat side. But I think it's one of the better ones.
I feel like there's something about like the dynamics of having multiple cats where it feels more like they could be like coming into battle or something. There's like feels like there's more context. We've got like more of them in a background. I feel like something is happening.
That's true. If it's just one, it's just like a weird modeling shoot.
Yeah. But like all of these, like there's some sort of like implied motion to all of these covers where it's like something is happening. That's different than the Super Edition ones.
I just wish that the cats were more affectionate with each other on the covers. Even their own clanmates. Like, they're probably clanmates on the cover here. And they're just not, like, affectionate.
Yeah.
Where's the cute cat?
Well, I'm sure they'll hear our feedback.
Definitely.
Is there anything else in the fandom that we want to talk about?
I think that's all I know of.
We have our quote of the week.
Yes.
I'm gonna read it. Cloud Spots licked his lips. I love Shrew. From A Forest Divided, Chapter 9.
I love Shrew too. I actually think I would like just mice. Like, just give me a nice, plump, juicy mouse.
To eat?
If I was a cat.
I feel like they seem too tiny.
Yeah, well, you could have 2.
Like Gray Stripe.
Yeah, Gray Stripe. He had like 2. I think he had like a bird and a mouse and then another mouse or something.
Yeah, but then everybody's mad at him. You shouldn't eat that many.
Well, you shouldn't eat 3 things. That's just crazy.
It just feels so strange. Like, they'll eat like a whole rabbit, and then one of them will be eating a mouse. And I'm like, that is vastly different amounts of food.
Well, our cat Lucy went in a mouse in 13 seconds. I mean, it feels looking at the size of a mouse, big enough to a cat. Like, it feels like it should be a meal. But I don't know. She ate that really fast.
Like, the whole thing.
Oh yeah, the entire thing. And it was a mouse on the bigger size.
I love the idea of cats eating mice.
That's when cats are good cats, you know. Like catches a mouse.
What a stereotype.
Yeah. Alright, chapter 17. Alright, chapter 17. Well, they talk a little about how the tunnelers were completely useless in the battle, and then they have Brackenwing's vigil, and Tallstar or whatever slept the whole time next to Palebird, who is like, didn't even notice him. And then the next morning he went on to train, and the thing happened.
The thing?
Yeah, the thing happened. Alright, let's read the cliff notes on the wiki here. Heatherstar breaks up the argument to thank the visitors. The she-cat says they will have to send out smaller hunting patrols.
Tallpaw hears Sandgorse and Sparrow talking about the gorge tunnel. Sandgorse cruelly calls his son one of the apprentices.
The next morning, Tallpaw helps with the burial.
Tallpaw and Dawnstripe head out for training, but the apprentice hears Sparrow and Sandgorse's plans to go down into the gorge tunnel.
Tallpaw questions the place of tunnelers. Dawnpelt doesn't give him a straight answer.
Algernon comes and informs the mentor and apprentice that Sandgorse and Sparrow went into the tunnels. Tallpaw feels bad for Sparrow.
Tallpaw goes hunting, while Dawnstripe and Algernon are chatting. Tallpaw takes note of where the tunnels are, and privately calls them stupid.
He hears the earth rumbling and thinks back to the flood.
Sparrow bursts out of a rabbit hole. The rogue says that the tunnel collapsed, but he lost Sandgorse.
Tallpaw tries to go help his father, but the tunnel collapses on him.
I love it so much.
Okay, let's talk about chapter 17.
My first note, which apparently I made 5 months ago by accident, is from when Tallpaw scented Sparrow and looked up, which made me think of that he scented the smell of the
Like
bird,
a bird, yeah.
Sparrow, but no, it was a cat, Sparrow.
I was also confused because I did not remember at all what was happening in this book. And who all of the characters were.
They say things like he scented Sparrow all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was just like, we open like in the middle of like the beginning of a vigil, and I was like, oh, somebody died. I fully did not remember what happened.
Yeah. Well, Heatherstar thanks the visitors, saying, and thanks to our visitors' battle skills today, we are safe. If they hadn't been here, we may have lost our home. And Hickory Nose is really offended. He's like, what are you saying? That without them, Shadow Clan would have won? And it's like, yeah, that's literally what you just said. Like, yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of that going on in these chapters. I'm just like, so you mean this? And it's like, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, my note is, are you saying we should stop tunneling? And then Heatherstar says no. Like, why? You should stop tunneling, absolutely. As we will see very shortly, you should stop tunneling.
She does say that the more skills we share, the better, which is like, yeah, that's what we've been saying this whole time. Like, everybody should know how to be a medicine cat. If you're doing tunneling, like, they should know how to tunnel, and all the tunnelers should like know the basic warrior skills, like fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like at the corpse of Brackenwing, and Tallpaw is like nuzzling into Palebird, or he like whispers her name, and then in response, Palebird nuzzles away from Tallpaw and closer to Brackenwing.
The dead cat.
Yeah, pretty bad. That's rough.
Yeah.
And Sparrow and Sandgorse are like rudely whispering right next to the corpse. And Sparrow is like, asking why they had to abandon the tunnel. And Sandgorse says a dumb flood scared one of the apprentices. That's really embarrassing.
Yeah, so my next thought, I just kind of had a bit of a breakdown. I feel like just reading the same thing over and over again, even though we haven't done it in months. And I just needed to get a little bit of it out. And why do we need a secret route to the river? For what? What is it going to do? And we shouldn't waste time on this because it's all we're talking about over and over again. But just what is the reason? What is the purpose? Why are we here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Secret route to the river. Like the one place where you probably need a secret route to the least.
It's just like, it doesn't matter. Why? Yes, why do you need that? You don't know how to swim. You don't know how to fish. Just, you can get to the river just fine.
Yeah, like what about a secret route to like the Shadow Clan border or something? Like that's where your enemies are.
Just It's stirring up so much like potential unnecessary beef with River Clan. It's just wasting so much time.
And like the tunnel keeps collapsing.
And like they also have to feed all of those cats then too. We're like just not really contributing actually to the rest of the clan.
Yeah, all they do is tunnel all day.
Yeah, and I'm sure they like are super tired. They like just need to like eat and then sleep and then go back to tunneling. Like what are the other cats actually getting out of this? They're just feeding them all the time.
Like wives.
Yeah. Well, they get shushed, and then right after that, also Tallpaw falls asleep. And I was wondering, like, wait, are you supposed to fall asleep while you're sitting vigil, like, and sharing tongues with a dead cat? And then, like, right in the next bit, he's like guilty. Like, was he supposed to stay awake? So that answered my question.
Yeah,
I guess we don't get an answer.
Why didn't any of them wake him up or tell him before?
Yeah.
Like, this is the first vigil he's sitting. And like, yeah, if everybody forgot to tell him, whatever. But you see a cat falling asleep, nudge him and be like, hey, you have to stay awake.
Yeah.
Just let him sleep the whole time.
Maybe they just thought he was too tired.
I guess, but it's just like, that's not what you're supposed to do.
And then, like, he's just asleep, taking up this valuable real estate next to the cat. Like, somebody else who's awake could be there sharing tongues and saying goodbye.
That's true. Prey is being disrespected. Said, like, Sandgorse thought he was special just because you could dig. Rabbits dig. They're not special.
Yeah, I was like, that's very dismissive of your prey.
It's not what you're supposed to do, according to the warrior code. You're supposed
Yeah.
to, like, respect and give thanks to your prey.
I guess, yeah, at this point, I'm just surprised by, like, how much of this we're getting in this book.
Yeah, they've really disrespected the prey a lot and are not very grateful for it.
Then Tallpaw and Dawnstripe are talking about why we even have tunnelers. Dawnstripe is like, it's part of our tradition. And then they say more things, but yeah, she does not answer the question. Because there is no good reason.
What do you think of that? It's part of our tradition. Like, that's a reason that I feel like people use for lots of things that shouldn't continue. Because I can't think of another good reason why it should continue.
Yeah.
It also is what makes them special, unlike the rabbits that are digging and tunneling.
Well, and then speaking of rabbits, Tallpaw hares away again.
Yeah, I highlighted that at the end of 19, I think. Just, I don't, has that been a thing? Has that been a word that we use consistently? Because I noticed it several times in these chapters and was like, are we just saying that now?
Yeah, maybe it's just a Winkland thing. Maybe it was intentional.
It's just like, I feel like I would have noticed that before.
I like it.
I enjoy it, but I've never noticed it.
So, Tallpaw's still, like, annoyed at Sandgorse. And thinking, like, while Sandgorse was grubbing around in muddy holes, Tallpaw would be defending his clan. I'll avenge Brackenwing's death, he thinks. So if he's still blaming himself, then that's gonna be a problem. But no, he thinks he's going to be throwing the body of a Shadow Clan warrior in front of his clan.
Yeah.
They'd have to forgive him then, so he does think it's his own fault.
I don't remember what happened to Brackenwing.
Yeah, I remember. It was the Shadow Clan invasion, and like he scented Shadow Clan and then didn't say anything.
But wasn't that thing where I was like, you did though?
Yeah. Like it wasn't really his fault.
He didn't want to be wrong and embarrass himself, so he didn't say that he smelled them.
Because like I think at first he said he smelled something, the others were like, "Oh, don't worry about that, you silly little apprentice."
Yeah, it was that he smelled like ThunderClan and then went to attack them.
Oh yeah,
they were just going to the Moonstone.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all coming back. Yeah, he wants to like throw the body of a Shadow Clan warrior in front of his clan like it's a piece of prey he's adding to the fresh kill pile.
Mm-hmm.
Very intense.
He's getting really like violent. Like
Yeah.
his thoughts are starting to change at this point in the book, I feel like.
Yeah, we're getting to the revenge portion.
Yeah. Okay, then we get to the part where like there's stuff about the tunnels and like Sandgorse and Sparrow went into the tunnel. And he even thinks like surely Sandgorse wouldn't take Sparrow anywhere dangerous. He was too experienced to lead an untrained cat into an unstable tunnel.
He
Well,
is
he
in
did that.
unstable tunnels all the time.
Yeah.
All of
And
them are unstable.
They're all unstable. Especially this one, it seems.
Yeah, we already know how unstable this one is.
Just like so close to the river.
Yeah, they're just like right there.
In the river.
He feels the ground shake. It says terror uncoiled in his belly, which I don't really know what that means, but cool. I feel like that sentence would work either way, like terror uncoiled in his belly or terror coiled in his belly. Like I feel like either way it would
coiled,
work.
Though. I feel like it would be coiled.
Yeah, it's like tension.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why that sentence really stood out to me. And then Sparrow comes out of the ground.
And he says, I lost him. And then he also says, too much water and mud.
Yeah, so
I don't think they were actually actively doing digging then, but they must have been extremely close to the river because the water just came right in and flooded the tunnel. Like, how did this happen again? Like, what? You just made this humongous error and ruined your project. And then you do the same exact thing.
yeah, like he must have been demonstrating or something to cause it all to collapse. Otherwise, like, why would it have flooded and collapsed? Like, they weren't just walking down there.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
He probably wanted to like teach Pharaoh some stuff.
Teach him how to dig. This is also just the beginning, though, of just like, Sparrow didn't do anything wrong.
No, he didn't. I'd like to think that he did, but he didn't.
If he had stayed down there with him, he just would have died too. Like, it wouldn't have helped anything.
Yeah.
I don't like Sparrow, but I guess he didn't do anything wrong.
He didn't, and like, he gets so much blame for this. And there's like, I think there's a point too where it's like he didn't even know the rule about like not leaving somebody behind.
Yeah, why would he? Yeah.
Just like, why would you take a cat into the tunnel and not teach them the basic safety rules of the tunnel?
Mhm. Yeah, I think it would be cool if like Sparrow just like totally murdered Sandgorse, but that's just like not the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sandgorse is underground, and Tallpaw is like really desperately trying to find him, which is like I guess supposed to be interesting because this whole chapter he's been like hating Sandgorse because he's such a bad father. But we see how he is anyway,
Yeah,
trying to
Just-
find him.
yeah. Complicated family dynamic.
Yeah, I just feel kind of, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like,
Just
they've
leave.
never had a pleasant moment. Fangorse has never really tried to, like, connect with Tallpaw. He's never been, like, nice to him. So, like, I get that he's his dad, but also, like, how upset Tallpaw gets does seem a little wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like, Sam, they'd never had. If we had gotten one pleasant moment, I'd be like, okay. But just nothing.
Yeah.
There's been nothing pleasant about this cat at all.
I guess maybe you could try to look at it like he's mourning like the relationship that he never got to have, but like hope that there is the potential there.
Yeah.
I did want to point out when he goes into the tunnel that there's the sour smell of river water.
Mm-hmm.
Again with this, like, really?
Why is the river water sour?
Maybe it has lemons in it.
Isn't that the water they drink?
Yeah, it should be like a nice fresh creek. Maybe it's really polluted. I don't know. We
Maybe
never
there's
get anything
gasoline
about
in
that.
it.
Well, I don't think it should be sour.
No, it shouldn't be sour. Even if it has like a little dirt in it or something, like.
Yeah, I mean, if it's been like soaking down there, like flooded for a month or something, the water will get yucky. But like, it just happened.
Yeah.
It just smells like dirt and water.
I mean, I guess it's like mud, but it shouldn't be sour. Maybe a little bitter.
Yeah. Or even salty if there's a lot of salt in the ground. But like not sour. Or sweet. Maybe umami.
No, that's not even a real flavor. That was created by the MSG companies.
Okay.
Then also there's a typo. I don't know if there's a typo in the printed book, but here in the PDF I have there's a typo, and I don't know if this is a real one or not. But it says now he was slithering though the tunnel.
Like a snake.
Snake. Well, then he passes out. In the chapter.
End of chapter 17.
Also, again, I feel like the first chapter that we do in the episode is the longest, and then the last one is the shortest. This keeps happening.
It does, but I also feel like it keeps being like one of the least interesting chapters as well. Just like super long and not much new stuff happens.
Yeah, I wasn't super bored.
It wasn't the worst, but I felt like I made more notes later.
Okay, ready for chapter 18? Summary. Well, they pulled Tallpaw out of the tunnel and he goes to the medicine cat's den and he is in a terrible mood, just like me, and everything's very bad.
Are you doing okay?
Me?
When did you write that summary?
I wrote it today.
I was going to say that was today. I checked last night and that was not there.
Oh.
Something's fundamentally wrong with me. I vomited 7 times on Saturday.
What?
I've never vomited that many times in one illness.
What happened to you? I just saw you. You were fine.
I know, but after I saw it, but later I started not being fine, and it just happened, and I just vomited 7 times.
Are you alright now?
Oh, well, fundamentally no, but yeah, I'm alright.
You're not throwing up anymore?
Oh no. No.
Okay.
By the way, total non sequitur. In the wiki, I just saw there's a page for medicine. Just the medicine in general.
There's also a typo in the Cliff Notes for Chapter 18.
Oh, I can't wait. This medicine page would be useful for playing, what's it called?
Medicine mission!
Medicine
I don't
mission.
think it would because it's just the pictures. I need the names. Give me the words.
Well, the medicine article does have all the pictures, actually. It has a lot of the pictures are like real life herbs.
Yeah.
One of them is a stick.
Stick. Scientific name for the stick? No. Description: wooden protrusion.
I need to see this.
Thin wooden protrusions that grow on and fall from trees.
Location: can be found anywhere there are trees. Usage:
Biting and using them as a splint.
I mean, burdock root is clearly like from the manga or a graphic novel, and there's an empty word bubble over the root.
Oh yeah, there's a few that are like that. Like ivy. It looks like they just whited out the text so it wouldn't be distracting. And then you can see the ivy.
That is a wild picture of fennel. It looks like a spider web.
Oh yeah, it can look
Find
like
a
that.
better image? I know, but like, I feel like if you don't know what fennel looks like, this is a very hard thing to parse out what's happening.
It just
Not a very
looks,
clear photo.
there's a lot of green stuff.
Mm.
The
The
hand.
ivy leaf is really good. The juniper berries.
Oh, there's like actual cobwebs.
And the cobweb is just like from some random cartoon. Oh wait, no,
What
it's
is
probably from
going
Cobweb.
on with the marigold? How did you not talk about the marigold?
No, what? Let me see.
What is happening? Guys, it's like body horror. What is going on?
It's the marigold covering the maybe some cat that had both their eyes scratched.
Is
I
that
don't know.
longtail?
Choice.
Maybe it is longtail. Yeah, I guess that was both his eyes. That looks like longtail.
That is certainly a choice for an image.
That would be a good image for the YouTube video for this episode. Try to save that.
Mm.
Okay, should we move back to chapter 18, Cliff Notes?
Oh yeah, I just got so sucked into the meta.
Yeah, it was irresponsible of us. Okay. Woollytail pulls the apprentice out.
Tallpaw is dazed, but quickly remembers. Wait, apprentice? He's just the apprentice.
Oh, wow.
Tallpaw is dazed, but quickly remembers what happened. He interrogates Sparrow about what happened, and to his understanding, Sparrow just abandoned Sandgorse.
Woolly Atil comments that Sangorse got what he was doing. Got what he was due for being reckless.
Woolly Attila. The cats give the news to Palebird, who was also devastated.
The medicine cats treat wounds. Barkpaw says he's sorry about Sandgorse. Tallpaw replies he's sorry about Brackenwing. Barkpaw doesn't reply. What? Why are there so many bullet points for each? Like, what? Okay.
The cliff notes of the wiki are iconic.
Yeah.
For a moment, Tallpaw understands what Palebird is going through. Rena tries to share food with him, but he pushes her away, wanting to be alone. Dawnstripe tries to comfort him, but he pushes her away too. Tallpaw blames himself for Sandgorse dying. He then blames Sparrow, insisting the rogue abandon his father in the tunnel.
Heatherstar sends a furious Tallpaw to his nest, where the Tom goes to sleep and has a nightmare. Barkpaw comes to check on his wounds, but is distant.
Because he, like, looks distant. Like, he looks like he's far away. It is the next morning. The patrols, with the rogues included, are leaving.
Pawpaw is about to get up before Hawkheart stops him, saying his paw is infected and he's confined to his nest until it heals.
Tallpaw blames Sparrow for killing Sandgors.
The way they wrote that bark part is distant. Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna just have to read that
like
part.
it's a telehealth appointment. Did you know that underground mud can be bad for you?
I love that sentence.
Yes, I love that it's specifically underground mud.
Mm-hmm.
Above ground mud, totally fine.
Wounds infect easily with underground mud. Oh, I hate how Tallpaw's like so bad at remembering when he wakes up. This part's so boring.
I don't like that.
Also, just like it so quickly goes away too.
Yeah. Did he like get a concussion or something and had very temporary memory loss?
Yeah, I mean, very. It's like a few sentences that he doesn't remember what's going on for.
I guess I see that a lot in books. Like you wake up somewhere unfamiliar or something, and you like don't know where you are at first. But I just don't like it.
You spent so much time at those tunnels. You should know.
Well, pretty clear that he died.
Yeah, I really like the party emoji.
Yeah. Oh, I see that. I did not know what that was. We haven't found his body, but there's no way he could still be alive down there.
You gave that a confetti? Oh my.
Yes, I did.
No.
It's the worst.
Oh no! Is that a laughing crying emoji?
Uh-huh.
Oh, poor Sandgors. Wow.
No, he deserved it.
No.
Yeah, I'm celebrating over here.
Well, I know he was bad. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we know.
Dawn starts like trying to comfort Tallpaw. It says Sandgors is with StarClan now. Like, really? Is he with StarClan? Or is he in the Dark Forest?
I make a similar comment later on.
Yeah, unfortunately, he probably is in StarClan.
He probably is.
And
But
maybe we actually do know that, but he shouldn't be.
I'm gonna write fan fiction that is just the exact same. Everything. I changed nothing. Sandgors is in the Dark Forest.
If Woollytail can't reach him, no one can. Sandgors is in the Dark Forest now. It reads so good.
He'll just be like in the background of other Dark Forest scenes, so we can't forget that Sandgors went to cat hell.
It's really crazy that Sandgors would go to StarClan, and like Ashfur went to StarClan even after he like threatened to kill the 3 apprentices,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Leafpool like barely even squeaked into StarClan. It's absurd.
I know, it's absurd. Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
There's also that one cat that like did nothing, but I can't remember what they are.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to that. Wait, did I?
There's some sort of
No,
cat who like
I didn't get
barely
that.
did anything, if at all. I mean, I'm also at this point a Maple Shade stan, and I think that she was justified in her crime.
Oh, I didn't read her. I don't know if it's a novella or a super edition. I didn't read
I
that.
think it's just a novella, which is criminal. She deserves the world.
So yeah, Sparrow says that he was lucky he made it out. There was no way he could have helped Sandgors. He was the one with all the skills. He shouldn't have taken him down there, and he should have known it was too dangerous. That's all true.
Mm-hmm. And then Sparrow was blaming... Tallpaw thinks Sparrow was blaming Sandgors for what happened. Yeah, and he should.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much Sandgors' fault.
And even Woollytail knows it was Sandgors' fault.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to see like nobody else in the clan is blaming Sparrow.
Yeah, but I like that a lot of them are like kind of letting Tallpaw have this at the same time. It's like he is kind of allowed to freak out right now and just like be upset. I feel like they should interfere a little more than they do with how much he kind of freaks out about it being all Sparrow's fault, but
I agree with what you said. Oh yeah, and then like the same thing or similar thing, Woollytail says the thing about Sandgore's answer for his recklessness.
yeah, and Tallpaw gasps, "Are you saying this was his fault?"
Yeah, he just said that.
Yeah, and he just kind of doesn't answer.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, your dad just died, like, in this sudden, unexpected accident.
Yeah.
You want to give somebody some room. And yeah, he thinks, like, how could Woollytail help the cat that had killed his tunnel mate?
Sparrow barely had a scratch on him, though.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would definitely be annoyed, like, that Sparrow's totally fine and, like, acting, like, joyful, like, right after, basically.
Yeah, I do think he's a little insensitive.
Mm.
But, I mean, also, like, the stuff about just, like, how he doesn't have any serious injuries, that can happen all the time. It doesn't mean that his life wasn't incredibly in danger and that he had time to help another cat out. Just because he isn't nearly dead.
Yeah, I know. At some point later, Tallpaw thinks if he had time, or maybe he even says, like, if you had time to save yourself, you had time to save Sandgorse. It's like, that's actually not true.
No, it's not how things work.
I do hate Sparrow, though.
I don't remember what Sparrow does, but I do, from this bit, I do agree that he's, like, incredibly annoying and insensitive immediately after this tragedy.
Yeah. I think I don't hate him, but I don't like him and wouldn't want to spend time with him. Maybe that's it. Tallpaw? Hawkheart leaned over him. Swallow these leaves.
That is maybe the best line in any of these books ever. Why does he say that? Also, how have we not used that as one of our quotes of the week?
I know it's going in the list right now.
It is so good. Swallow these leaves. It's so abrupt. It's so, like, he's not even in the scene and he just shows up and so swallows these leaves.
Like, imagine someone leaning over you, like Tallpaw, and then they say, swallow these leaves.
It's such a strange way to say such a normal thing.
So, Sparrow's fine, but Tallpaw is, like, very scratched up. Hawkheart mutters, he's pretty shredded. Which, isn't that, like, he's muscular?
Yeah,
I thought that was really funny. I don't know why. Like, he's pretty shredded.
I don't think he actually is. I think he's pretty lean and fit, but not super muscular. Unlike Barley.
I like that all of these notes in a row are just going to be, you sure said that. Because my next note is, began sluicing his pelt with soaked moss. What?
What?
Why would they say that?
Like, sure, those are words, and you can say them, and they make sense. But did you have to use them, those ones, in that order?
Sluicing his pelt. I've never heard anybody say sluicing in that way.
Yeah, just why? This is not the way that you talk about bathing somebody with moss. It's not the way you talk about them being injured, and it's not the way you talk about them eating herbs.
Yeah. I feel like sluicing, in my mind, would refer to something with a lot more water, like a much heavier flow of water.
This is just like a moss sponge.
Yeah. Well, then he's rude to Rena, and then he's rude to Dawnstripe. He says, I'll never feel happy again.
Very angsty teen of him.
Yes. And then, oh yeah, here's where he says if there was time to save yourself, there was time to save Sandgorse. And he actually just, like, interrupted whatever was going on from across the camp and, like, confronted Sparrow about that.
Yeah, that is what gets him told off, though. Told to go to his room.
Yeah.
So yeah, this next sentence, what does it mean? Stagleaf, Ryestock, and Dosespring blinked at him like birds lined along a branch. So even if birds blinked, I still don't really know what this means.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it illustrated perfectly what was happening.
I mean, I feel like I kind of understand what they're doing, but just birds don't blink.
Well, they blink.
Not like in a real way.
What do you mean?
I mean, they have like
For
a
a bird
third. They have that third eyelid. Like, it doesn't look like they blink.
Oh.
Yeah, did they blink at him like that?
Yeah, they magically have third eyelids that you can kind of see a slight change that closes and opens again.
That is a funny way of saying it. Yeah, what is up with this second half of this chapter and like all these very weird things?
Yeah, it's just very strange phrasing. It's just like, this doesn't fit. These things you've said a million times before. Why are you choosing now to be like, let's switch it up?
I love that whole paragraph though, where after Tallpaw says that, and then Heather starts like, "Go to your nest," and then Tallpaw like looks at all his clanmates watching him, like they stared at him, frozen in shock. Prey hung from Cloud Runner's mouth. Lily Whisker's eyes were round. Flame Pelt sat stiffly beside her. Stagleaf, Ryestock, and Dosespring blinked at him like birds lined along a branch. Like, what a great paragraph.
Yeah, that's such an
I
awkward.
do feel like it's, like palpably uncomfortable.
Yeah, well illustrated. Flame Pelt was also just sitting there stiffly. Lily Whisker's eyes were round.
Aren't they always?
Anything else to say before my last note at the end?
I don't think so.
Yeah, just at the end, Tallpaw's kind of annoyed that like clan life is going on like normal, and now he's hungry and he thinks, isn't anyone going to offer me prey? Because like people aren't talking to him right now. But also he was just saying like maybe the previous day how he was refusing prey. Everybody was like trying to be nice to him and talk to him and bring him prey, and he was like, "No, go away."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I guess that too.
You can also get up and get your own mouse.
Yeah, he's not confined to his nest, is he, or is he just in camp?
I mean, like, I get it. I do get it. He's sulking and moody.
Yeah.
And taking it out on Sparrow. So, like, I get it, but it is like, okay, come on, guy. Calm down.
And he has all these thoughts, and then he actually growls out loud, "But I blame you. You killed my father."
I don't think I noticed that he says it out loud.
It's kind of random.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 19.
Yes, summary time. Oh, I like that they all start with well. I have not read this beforehand. All right. Well, the chapter starts with some new kids being born, and Tallpaw is still in a bad mood. Maybe he hasn't gotten over Sandgorse's death yet or something. Whatever. He goes out with a tunneler onto the moor and runs, and learned that tunnelers also enjoy being above ground and the sun and stuff, so he decides to train as a tunneler because he likes those things too.
Excellent. Cliff notes. Meadowslip is kidding. Hopkit is mentioned to have a crooked paw. The kit's siblings, Pigeonkit and Sorrelkit, are healthy, however.
Rena and Tallpaw argue, leaving Rena angry and Tallpaw even more bitter towards the rogues and the clan as a whole.
Tallpaw finds comfort in Flailfoot, who explains that even tunnelers like the feel of the sun on their fur and running across the moor. Tallpaw still thinks Sandgorse hates him, but Flailfoot insists otherwise. The elder talks about how Sandgorse was a great planter, but hated worms.
Dawnstripe comes and says Tallpaw is fit to train again.
Tallpaw says he wants to be a tunneler. Dawnstripe tries to talk him out of it. Woollytail and Plumclaw are overjoyed.
Tallpaw says tunneling is in his blood. He just never realized it before.
I have a couple things to say about these cliff notes. I didn't realize when I just reread, but now I'm realizing that Hopkit turns into Deadfoot.
Yeah.
And then it says Tallpaw still thinks that Sandgorse hates him, but Sandgorse is dead. He hated him.
Well, he's in StarClan, so he still exists.
Yeah.
Not in my fanfiction.
Oh, total obliteration. No. Sorry.
He is depressed. He didn't think about running anymore or the feeling of wind in his fur.
Oh, yeah.
Because he stayed in his nest too long that he lost that. I totally understand. Like, if I don't get up and then I just don't want to get up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah, next is my note when we went to the Dark Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just says Sandgorse would be watching from StarClan. His eyes dark with disappointment. I feel like furthering my theory that he should have gone to the Dark Forest.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
StarClan
be.
cats shouldn't have their eyes dark with disappointment.
No, especially when, like, he's not doing anything. Let your child live. Oh, you also said no to the same spot.
So, yeah, there's these three kits. How do we rank their names? Pigeon Kit, Sorrel Kit, and Hop Kit.
Hop Kit is the best. Pigeon Kit is the second best. And
Sorrel
Kit is the worst.
I don't agree. I think Sorrel Kit is the best, and Hop Kit is the middle, and Pigeon Kit is the worst.
I also don't agree with either of those. I think Pigeon Kit might be the best, and then Sorrel Kit. Here's the thing. Let's talk about this. So,
different opinions. What?
Hop Kit is the worst. What? Listen, y'all. We are in Disability Pride Month. These books have such an intense problem with a lot of issues, but especially with disability. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
He's the only one who, like, he's named the Tom Hopkit. One of his paws is a little crooked, but he'll be fine. He's called Hopkit because he can't walk right. They can't even walk yet. And already this cat is being entirely defined by its disability, which is what continues to happen to the cats that have disabilities over and over and over again in these books. And it's wild. And yeah, you just brought up that he turns into Deadfoot. Like, they'll completely change the conventions of, like, the naming system just to specifically only call out the disabled cats. And it's wild. So that's my little rant about why Hopkit is the worst name. I feel so bad
I agree with you that Hopkit is the worst. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that part, but why would they do that? That's like, what? Like, just give him a normal name that's in no way related to his disability. But Pigeon Kit, like, pigeons they're not like majestic birds, they're pigeons. Not like the best name.
They're prey, but so is like Mouse Fur, Mouse Whisker. Like, those are prey names.
Yeah, pigeons have like a bad reputation.
Yeah, I also kind of went down
Rat.
Well, Rat Scar, a great Shadow Clan warrior. I like it. Besides, I think pigeons are majestic.
I think they're fun.
See? Majestic, fun.
I just don't really like saying sorrel very much, which is what makes it second for me. I don't like the way it feels coming out of my mouth.
Enough sorrel kits. Like, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, pigeon feels different. Let's spice it up.
And Hop got cancelled.
Yeah.
I'm fully canceling the name Hopkit.
When did the name change happen? I don't remember if we see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least Hopkit is better than Deadfoot though. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean there's definitely worse ones.
Lost face.
Oh no, that was awful.
Yeah. So Plumclaw eyes Heatherstar sharply. Let's hope Hickory Nose insists they become tunnelers. Can we just calm down here? They just were popped out. Can we stop making it political?
They're like 5 minutes old.
Yeah. It's not gonna happen.
Nope.
So then there's more arguments between Tallpaw and Rena. And Sparrow doesn't engage. And Tallpaw thinks of Sparrow as a coward, but it's really not honorable to fight with Tallpaw right now in this situation.
Yeah. He also calls him a weasel heart immediately after, and the connotation of a weasel is not cowardice.
No, it's not.
I feel like it's a decent insult because we're not insulting prey, and it gives a specific thing that it feels like you're calling somebody, and it's not a coward.
I also love this quote from Rena where she says, "You've turned mean, Tallpaw."
She spits it.
That's why you got no friends anymore. Yeah.
I also like whenever a cat comes near you, bite their head off, and he says, "So at least I don't kill them." Well, she did just say you bite their head off.
Yeah.
I know she doesn't mean it literally, but it's just.
Yeah, that will kill them.
Yep.
What if Tallpaw opened his mouth so wide that he ate someone's head off?
Tall jaw. Yeah, he's really just pushing everybody away at this point.
Yeah.
Except then Flailfoot has a nice, helpful conversation with him. Except the outcome is horrible.
Yeah, I think a thing I wanted to make a note about here, but I didn't, is the comment, "That's why you've got no friends anymore," is just that he never really had friends though. Really all he's lost is Barkpaw.
Yeah, before.
Nobody's ever really been that nice to him. So it doesn't actually feel that different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of them have been vaguely friendly, but
yeah,
he's never had friends.
Yeah, terrible. So is Flailfoot the Elder? Is that another is that name about something wrong with his foot?
I don't know. It's one of the ones that's questionable.
Yeah, it could definitely be ableist, but it might not be. I don't know. What were they thinking when they came up with the name? Oh, you made the note about Herod.
Yeah, just keeps coming up now.
Yep. Very appropriate for Wind Clan.
I do like this balance, though, of Flailfoot actually enjoying not being in the ground all of the time. I feel like we just get a lot of sort of propaganda from the tunnelers. And seeing one of them be like, actually, there are good things about being outside.
Yeah, it's just like a normal cat.
Yeah,
He goes to work, but then he also enjoys being outside, out of the office. Evelyn, your note.
I don't care about it anymore.
I do. Worms,
See, they all know about Shrewpaw's bullying, and yet they don't help him.
They treat it like a joke.
Yeah,
oh, that's just kids being kids. You
wink,
know how
wink.
they do.
Yeah, Sandgorse love you, and they're all making light of his problems. Someone needs to validate his problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then down here, it's if there'd been more time, he would have come to accept that your dream was not his. There would have been time to forgive and forget. And I really don't think he would. I don't think he ever would have forgiven Tallpaw for not wanting to tunnel. And
Yeah, that's not who he was shown to be.
no, and there's also sort of a vagueness on there would have been time to forgive and forget that makes me question, like, is he also putting some of the blame with that on Tallpaw? That, like, Tallpaw was supposed to also forgive and forget?
Oh yeah.
Or is he entirely talking about Sangors?
I feel
Just
like it
like-
could be thinking either way.
Yeah. Because, yeah. He was a horrible father.
Yeah, and like Flailfoot's saying, well, like Tallpaw says, Sangor's never understood that, like that, he liked being out in the open. Flailfoot's like, I think he did in his own way. Like, he did not understand that, or respect it, or like want to acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's just like, I get what he's trying to do, but it's so invalidating of Tallpaw's experience.
Yeah, like read the room, Flailfoot.
I like this next part.
Yeah.
Oh, just more stuff about how Sangors was great at tunneling, and he knew the tunnel so well, and he was so good at tunneling forever and ever, and no cat was ever better than him at tunneling. He ran into the river.
Right after he just did that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, he could pick out a route overground and dig it exactly the same underground paw step for paw step. Then how did he go into the river?
Maybe in terms of like left and right, but certainly not depth-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this, like, bringing up his hatred of worms or whatever, it just feels like it's trying to, like, kind of give him, like, after he's dead, finally give him, like, some sort of, like, relatability or, like, kind of
Some sort
humanity, something that we can, like,
No.
connect to. But it feels very, what was that horrible final Harry Potter book, The Cursed Child? There's a part in that where it's like, oh, somebody hates birds. I don't remember. And it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, I think it's Harry Potter is like scared of pigeons or some shit like that. I don't remember.
Okay.
But it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you're like, this is just supposed to make you seem more like a person. So we've given you a silly fear just so you seem relatable.
Well, this thing, like Tallpaw did not even know this thing about Sandcourse. Like, why didn't you know this before? Probably because of abuse and neglect. Like, you don't even know basic aspects of your parents' personalities and daily lives.
Yeah,
Every time we hit worm soil, he'd send his tunnel mate in first. He always said he'd rather be plastered whisker to tail in clay than get a worm under his claw. Worm soil.
Worm soil is like, they just made that up.
I mean, all soil is worm soil.
Yeah. They live, that's their house.
You're barging into their home and flooding it with sour river water.
You know how many worms died in that?
Probably hundreds.
They drowned.
So here, they go back to camp, and then Dawnstripe is like, Tallpaw, good news. Hawkheart says you're fit enough to start training again. And this is right after Tallpaw goes out of camp and, like, sprints. So what, like, was he not supposed to do that? Because, like, otherwise, you know, like, did Hawkheart just say this after he left camp? If he said it before, wouldn't he have told Tallpaw? Like, I'm really confused here.
Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't have to be chased after to be told that you're fine to leave the medicine cat down.
Well, whatever the case, he's good to go. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe it said, but I don't remember.
I think it said I think it said something, but it was vague.
Like a week, maybe. And then he's like, he comes out as that he wants to train as a tunneler.
It's just so sad. These chapters are just so sad. It's just like, I'm happy that Sandgorse is dead, but just like, it's so rough for Tallpaw. And I really like him. And I mean, he's going through it. And he's going to continue to go through it.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. Like, oh, please don't do this to yourself. It's not who you are.
No, it's so rough. It's just like, yeah, there's so much like, he is the gayest cat in these books subtext going on throughout these. So much of the fucking dialogue is so just like wanting to be the cat that his dad wants him to be, but he doesn't want to be. Kind of vibe. It's so bad. But just like, yeah, I mean, Halberd is not really much of a mother. Not that Sandgorse was much of a father, but like, and now Barkpaw won't talk to him. It's just like, the only thing that could have made this worse is if we got interactions with Shrewpaw in all of this. Like, It's just rough.
Yeah, Shrewpaw didn't really do anything.
No, I don't know that I even saw his name. Maybe
at the
vigil?
It's been 3 chapters with no Shrewpaw?
No.
Well, Shrewpaw secretly has a crush on Tallpaw, and actually didn't just want to upset him.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. I'm glad we're all in agreement.
100%. I mean, yeah, there's that thing where he, like, sort of apologizes later on before Tallpaw leaves.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was, like, there's vibes.
Well, okay, Woollytail is like, don't do this for your father's sake. Sandgorse would never want that. Like, what? That's literally the main thing that Sandgorse wanted.
He always wanted that, and Tallpaw pretty vocally did not want that.
Yeah.
Woollytail's not so bad then, you know?
I mean, his heart's like Flailfoot, his heart's in the right place, but you are not giving an accurate read on Sandgorse.
No.
Yeah.
Like, you're enabling that kind of stuff.
No, the Sandgorse has no abilities anymore.
Yeah. And he says, tunneling is in my blood, Plumcaw. I just never realized it before.
You never realized it before, because it's not true.
Yeah, and just like, he's gotta still be clearly upset. Like, I hate that these older cats are like encouraging it just because it fits what they want. I wish that like somebody would encourage him to be like, actually maybe don't make like this huge life decision right now.
Yeah.
Maybe let's wait a little bit because you've been pretty hard that you want to be a more runner. And now all of a sudden that your dad's dead, you're gonna tunnel? Like, let's take a step back. Like, celebrating that he's making this wildly different life choice is like...
Yeah, like, don't talk him out of it. We need more pause.
Yeah. I'm not saying you should, like, sit there and, yeah, talk him out of it, but, like, just have a level discussion with him about it.
Well, those were decent chapters.
Yeah, I felt like we had a lot more to talk about that wasn't just how crazy the tunnels are.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be glad to like move on from the tunnels. It's like a toxic relationship.
It very much is. We're nearly totally done with that. I think, right?
Well, I guess I don't remember, but like now he's going to be an apprentice. I keep thinking that the tunnels are going to be canceled, and then like something else like that doesn't happen. So I don't remember.
I feel like it's got to be coming soon. I wish that what page number is it? So far, I do remember it lasted longer than I thought.
I guess we're probably not half done. We're 19 chapters. Can't see right now how many there are.
Oh, why are there so many?
I think there's usually like 35-ish, if I'm not mistaken.
So there's 45 chapters.
Okay.
Oh no.
So we're We're almost halfway. We're getting there.
Yeah. All right. Well, what was our favorite and least favorite parts of the episode?
My favorite part was Sangor's death. And what was my least favorite part? I guess the cats like encouraging him to make a big life decision.
I think my favorite part was swallow these leaves, followed by sluicing his pelt. My least favorite part was Sangor's going to StarClan.
Yes, I agree.
You
You need to get on the intense Sangor's hate train. Join us.
I mean, yeah, I hate him, but like, I don't care now that he's dead. My favorite part was when Rena was like, "You've turned mean, Tallpaw." I really like that part for some reason. And my least favorite part, I don't really remember it. All I remember was when I vomited 7 times.
Was that your least favorite
That
part?
wasn't part of the episode.
There's still time.
I didn't like I didn't like when Tallpaw couldn't remember things right away when he woke up, when he got rescued from the tunnel.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. That's all I can remember.
You've done your duty. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.